Hello, everyone. I'm Father Wilmer Tria from Pili, Bikol region, Philippines. My task is to explain to you the relationship between translation and diplomacy. For me, there is a parallelism. There is a relationship between the two that you can even say translation is like a parable, a metaphor for diplomacy. The first is both involves movement from the homeland to the foreign land. There's a movement from the native land, the motherland, to the host country. So a diplomat leaves this country to represent this country in another country. So in translation, we know that a word is being transported to another country, to another linguistic community. So the first is movement. They are like travelers, they are like pilgrims, moving from one place to another place. The second relationship between the two is there's no abandonment. Even if you depart, even if you leave your country to move to another country, you don't completely abandon your homeland, your native land. You carry along with yourself your country. And that's why a diplomat represents his country. He brings with him the economy, the politics, the society, the culture of his country, and in a vicarious way bring his country to another country. And that's also translation. In translation, even if a word is translated to another language, the nuance, cultural nuance of that word is carried even if it's transported to another language, to another audience, another linguistic community. So somehow in translation, you still represent the original language, its thoughts, its complex world. Even if it's translated, excuse me, still the meanings, the world is contained within that word. So that is the nature of translation. The third parallelism between translation and diplomacy is the encounter. There's a meeting between the source language and the target language, between the native land and the foreign land, between the motherland and the host country. So a diplomat actually brings his country so that there will be a genuine encounter between his country and the foreign country, the host country. There is an exchange of like dialogue, meeting of minds, like memorandum of understanding of partnership, and so on and so forth. So that's actually the ultimate goal of diplomacy, to establish relationship. And that is also the purpose of translation. When we translate, we want to firm up the encounter and translate it into a firm relationship, informing allies between two countries. So it can be achieved through diplomacy, and it can also be achieved through translation. So encounter, the mutual exchange of culture, of economy, and so on and so forth, brings along the formation, the forming of an alliance between two countries. So the bottom line of both diplomacy and translation is friendship, the friendship of two societies, the friendship of two states. This reminds me of Marcel Mauss's book, The Gift. He describes the society as a gift-giving society. And in the gift, there are actually three elements. The act of giving, that's the first. The second is the act of receiving. But the narrative does not end with giving and receiving, because there's a third element, and that is reciprocity. The moment you receive a gift, you continuously think of how you can repay that gift in another way. So the society is dynamic through diplomacy, through translation, because these are acts of gift giving. The bottom line of all is reciprocity. So in translation, it's not enough that small countries translate the works of big countries. To continue the gift-giving activity of the society, it would also be nice if small countries are translated by big countries. The powerful countries also listen to the narratives of the less powerful countries.